In this section, we will take an opportunity to reflect on the competency assessment tool exercise. Please take a moment to revisit the exercise that you completed earlier. As a reminder, these tools assess an individual's ability to achieve the core competencies in public health under 8 domains. In each of these domains, skills in epidemiology are essential. Analysis and assessment is fairly straightforward. It's epidemiologists that need to know how to carry out surveillance and monitor trends of diseases and other issues in populations. In policy development and program planning, frequently decisions need to be made regarding the distribution of scarce resources. Data, collected and analyzed by epidemiologists, is an important component of that resource allocation. Communication is made much more effective when assertions are backed up by data or evidence, again, the role of epidemiologists. Cultural competency is an essential component of public health services. It is the duty of data analysts or epidemiologists to think about cultural sensitivity and health equity in providing the data about their populations. We think about community dimensions of practice, or the ability to provide targeted services within a larger community. And again, epidemiology is essential in designing those interventions. Therefore, epidemiology is really a core of public health science. In financial planning and management, again, resources are limited. And in thinking about the distribution of resources, as well as evaluating whether those resources were well spent, we rely on epidemiologic skills. And finally, in leadership and systems thinking, the aim of an organization or its ability to move forward to achieve its goals critically relies on the ability to use data to see if progress is being made in the right direction. So please take some time to review your competency assessment. How many of the competencies overall were you comfortable saying that you could accomplish in your chosen public health organization? And, specifically related to epidemiology, how many of the data-specific competencies were you comfortable saying you could accomplish? Were there particular domains that you were more or less comfortable with? This tool really provides us as individuals with an opportunity to think about where we can improve our knowledge, but also provides organizations as a whole information on areas in which they need to build capacity and improve the ability of their workers to achieve these competencies. Now take a moment and think about public health organizations in general across the United States. Do you think our public health workforce in the U.S. is prepared to address these competencies? And if not, what can we as public health practitioners, or more importantly, as practitioners of epidemiology, do to make a difference? Let's look at an example from the literature. In the Journal of Community Health in December of 2003, Dr. Barty and colleagues actually did an assessment of self-reported comfort with the recommended public health competencies among state and local health department workers in a frontier state. Overall, the domains of communication and cultural competency were rated higher, while financial planning and management and policy development and program planning were rated lower. From this study, the author's recommendation was that we need more targeted training of the U.S. public health workforce in these specific core competencies. This is an example of how an organization may use this tool to actually see where their training needs are most specific. So where are we now since 2003? Sellers et al. In 2015 did a survey of state health professionals and showed significant needs for training in influencing policy development, preparing a budget, and training related to the social determinants of health. And Kaufman and colleagues in 2014 did a series of interviews with national leadership in public health and showed a need for prioritizing systems thinking, communicating persuasively, change in management, information and analytics, problem solving, and working with diverse populations. So the underlying message here is that epidemiology, the use and interpretation of data to assess and improve the health of a population, is indeed a core skill and one in which we must focus in order to improve the ability of our workforce to achieve these goals. That is what is critical for the improvement of the health and well-being of communities across the United States. So in summary, epidemiology is the study of the distribution and determinants of health-related states or events in specified population and the application of this study to the control of health problems. It is expected that every U.S. resident will have access to the 10 essential public health services through local, state, and federal health authorities, and that the Public Health Foundation's competency assessment tool can help in assessing individuals at different levels of the public health workforce in their ability and comfort in achieving the 10 essential public health services. Thank you for joining us for this course.